Alright YouTube, this is Project C4. This is part number 4. I want to go through the engine compartment here. I also want to go show you inside the car, and I'm going to show you underneath and show you everything that we've got done so far. Okay, so in the engine compartment here, basically just taking out the EGR tube here to remove the windshield wiper motor. Disconnected some electrical, and since then we've drained the antifreeze from the radiator and taken apart the upper and lower radiator hoses here, and also the throttle coolant bypass here. I think that's pretty much all we've done in the engine bay. Next thing I'm going to be working on is taking off these Allens here and pulling off this manifold and setting it off to the side, getting ready for extraction. Alright, going inside the car. Inside the car, as you can see here, we've already taken off the center console trim, and to do that you have to start off by taking off, let's see if I can get it here. You have to start off by taking apart the shift knob here. The first thing that you do to take off the shift knob is remove this upper piece with the gear select on it. It just has a little tab here, and it inserts, set that up just like that. So it inserts right into here. All you have to do is pry this out with the little smaller flathead. Then you'll come across this steel, this little T shaped piece of steel, and it sits right in here. So you look at it and you're like, okay, what do I do with that? Well, all you have to do is get under here with a screwdriver and pry up, and that comes directly up. And basically what it does is it sits right here in the slot on the actual shifter handle. And after that, this shift knob just unscrews like your ordinary shift knob here. Okay, so after you do that, you're going to want to focus in on the center console trim. And the center console trim, in the very front cup holder area, you're going to see a 7mm screw, and also towards the rear where the coin slots are, right directly next to the, or beneath the trunk release, one there and one on the other side. I'll show you where those reside. What you're going to have to do is pull up on this carpeting, and you'll see that they sit right in here, and you'll remove both of those. Also, before you can get the trim, that'll take the trim loose. Before you can actually get it out, it'll start hanging up in this little corner pocket area. It'll hang up on the center console lid. So what you're going to want to do is remove 1, 2, 3, and 4. Those are also 7mm. And then pull the center console lid off. That way you'll be able to pull that whole assembly out. Alright, going underneath the car. Let's start off under here, see where we're at. Alright, so we've taken off the exhaust, pretty much the complete assembly in one unit. And it's come off here. There's 3 studs there that have to come off. We've also pulled the studs. I don't know if you can see that, but the studs broke on us, so we pulled those off to drop it as a complete assembly. But there's a bracket right in this area that's kind of hard to get to, so what we decided to do is pull the exhaust from here, and then we'll be able to remove that bracket. Alright, as you go back a little further and scroll back here, I don't know if you can see those, there we go, those 2 13mm bolts there. That goes here basically, and it holds up this bracket, and this is what suspends the exhaust from falling. So you've got 2 little spring hooks there. You take those out and you drop this whole assembly as one unit. Also, what that does is it gives you access to the 18mm bolts that go into the transmission tail shaft housing. Alright, moving on backwards here. Also, we've taken out the 21s that go into the differential, and directly on the lower part of the differential you'll see these exhaust hangers here. Those also, I believe those are 13 mils. Those are part of the process to take down the exhaust still. Currently we're working on removing the drive shaft, and that's basically these 4 8mm bolts, one on this side, one directly across from it, and the same thing on this side. Alright, moving backwards. Alright, the very final hanger on the exhaust is going to be on the rear bumper assembly area on the aluminum frame here. There's two 13mm nuts that have to be removed, and for a total of 4. There's actually 2 on each side. That's that one there, and this setup here. And once you drop those, along with all the other hangers that I've showed you, I think it's a total of 4 hangers, spring-loaded hangers like these, and then the 4 bolts in the rear on the aluminum frame, and the mounting points either at the exhaust flange or at the rear of the catalytic converters here. So anyways, that's pretty much what we've got done on this car. It's tough getting out of there. I'm getting old. Also, walking over to the other car, the actual build car. This one here basically just went through a detail, and we've cleaned up this engine compartment here, so that way we can play in it without getting too bad and too filthy, and it also just looks really nice. All the aluminum came out nice, gives it a fresher look here. Of course, we got a chopper up ahead here above us. Anyways, on the next video I'm going to show the extraction. On the next video I should have the engine out. At this point we're going to be working on removing the transmission from the bell housing area, and that's I'll show that on my next video, and anything else that we get done. But I think here by the end of the day we should have this engine and tranny assembly out. Alright guys, signing off on this one. I'll see you on the next one, part number 5.